Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 8:49 a.m. at a cool 44 degrees. Reason why it's 44 degrees, it's raining and it's overcast. Compared to yesterday, which was a balmy 69 degrees. Got me a bit of a tan. At the current time, we are moving the tandem that is loaded down with seed to the next location. Once we get it there, we are going to, well, it's pretty much going to stay there. Hopefully after this rain, plant some beans, my beans. Oh, it's the back doors. Never mind. Keep forgetting those back doors shake and rattle. Keep forgetting about that. That always throws me for a loop. Well, since there's no weight on those doors, and we took off, golly, 74 times 55. Like almost 3,700 pounds off the back end of that truck. So, and with the way this ground is uneven, it's, well, I shouldn't say ground, roads. Yeah, it's going to make everything shake and rattle. But, yeah. We're going to put it in the barn, keep it at this location, well, for the duration of the planting season. And then we're going to go from there. the update for today. Just take it over there, stick it in the barn, and close it up and head home. Got the planter on the 8300. The drill's going to sit for the duration of the season until fall, after all the crops get off. Now, during the fall, my 166 acres is going to have to be worked due to the fact in 18, the winter of 18, it got plowed. It is extremely uneven. Uneven ground does not let the crops grow right, because then you get some of them that are deeper, some of them that are shallower, and it just affects the stand and germination. So it's got to be worked and leveled down, bar none. Really hate to do that, but ain't got no choice. Just don't have any. Oh, he jumped straight across the road. High speed anhydrous applicator right there. Made a mess on the road. Now, those high speed ones, those take a lot of horsepower. If I recall, that might be Neutrinas. And they got 620Rs. So, yeah. Big tractors on them. But you gotta have those size in order to pull a toolbar like that. Otherwise, that engine's gonna just drink the fuel. And I mean drink. On top of that, you can't maintain a constant speed or anything, so the more horsepower and torque you can get, the better off you are with those high speeds. So it does make a lot of sense. You gotta have high speeds. If you want high speeds, you gotta have high horsepower. Rattle, rattle, rattle. God, those doors just threw me for a loop for a minute. But yeah. Nope. Doesn't look like many people have scratched around. A couple of people seeing us planting beans kind of jumped the gun as well and planted some beans. But beans are hardier plant than corn. Corn is stupid. What I mean is it has to have, it's got to be babied all the way through. Beans, they couldn't care. You plant them, like I said, there's a guy in Illinois that has planted in February and got 88 bushel beans. Good beans. So, beans, it's like a weed. You can plant it late, and yet it'll still produce a viable seed. Corn, you planted late? Nope, it done. It's just corn's been bred to almost be stupid. Now, when it comes to frost, corn gets frosted on once. Right there, you lose about half your yield. Beans, they get frosted on. If they get frosted on early, that's not a detriment. If anything, we have found that that is a benefit, especially when they're up. If they get frosted on when they're up, it actually bumps the yield. It kind of stuns them, and we have found that it does pay to stun them. Now, I'm going to tell you a story here. Years ago, when we had a pull type sprayer, which we sold last year, but back then I had a bit of 2,4-D in a tank. It's a growth regulator. Excellent for corn, but for soybeans, it's a broadleaf control agent, basically. But accidentally, I did not clean the tank out, and I had like a pass to do. And it was on one of our fields. Sprayed the round, the pass I needed. Burned the living daylights out of that pass. Granted, there was like a lot less beans. I shouldn't say a lot less. That single pass dropped it like 12%. Significant number. But they branched out. And one bean we found in particular had branched so massively that it had 155 pods on it. Now, normally, you want to aim for like 50, 60 pods if you do it normally. Not this case. This branched out and had 155 pods on it. And ever since then, we were like, how do we duplicate this, but yet maintain the proper amount? Well, unfortunately for me, last year, I forgot to clean out the tank because I had 2,4-D in it again. Oops. Went up, got a small load for a 12-acre field. Came out perfect. Ran the sprayer completely out, but yet the entire field was done. It was perfect. I gotta give the guy who calculated that out high marks. A good friend of the family. He had a stroke, a mild stroke, very mild. He'll make a full recovery, but it gave us all concern. But thankfully, he's okay. But sprayed it, stunned the living daylights out of the beans. I was like, ooh. Didn't really do much. Stunned them way too hard. So that told me that I had way too much in them. So trying to find the balance to make them branch out massively without being a detriment is difficult. But there's a guy who's figured it out, but he uses a thing known as Cobra. It deals with a lot of weeds, but it burns the living daylights out of the beans. Oh man. You spray that at full rate, don't go look at them for a week. And this is true. You'd be like, I just killed them. No, you didn't. You burned the living daylights out of them, but you didn't kill them. So, yeah. But yeah. My dad had a similar experience, but this was long before I jumped into farming. It was an accident. He was on his final pass on the inrows. A gust of wind came up, blew, got into Naples field, told him, hey, this is what happened, because he jumped off the tractor, went straight to his house. A good neighbor, told him, he was like, we'll just see what it does in the fall. Granted, 4 inches shorter than the rest of the beans. Higher yield, though. He was like, can you do that again? No, was the word. Plain and simple, no. Figure it out. We're still trying. But every time we see him, it's like, oh, do you remember that time when that drifted across my field? Don't remind us. Funny, because they made 6 bushel better. Of course, he had a yield monitor, colored yield monitor. It's when they first were coming out with the colored yield monitors and everything else. It was like, that was good beans. Can you do that again? No. Simple no. But every so often, when he plants beans, I notice there's a small section in the field that, oddly enough, is burned. And that tells me that he's trying to replicate it, but is having difficulty. It is difficult to do, but we're all trying to find that proper ratio of chemicals to burn beans and get a good yield. But here's the thing, Cobra is expensive. Man, this is expensive. But we have found something which is very potent on weeds, volunteer corn, and everything else. I don't care what it is. It will get rid of them. Even the hardest to kill weeds are no match. And believe me, River Bottom has the hardest weeds you will ever find. But man, maybe the hardest weeds to kill in the river bottom, but the stuff that was used, that we found, couldn't be cleaner. Could not be cleaner. I mean, absolutely immaculate. And I mean, you could see the ground all year round. It was impressive. I was highly impressed. My old man was highly impressed. He was like, okay. So then we read up on it. It's used for beans, well, edible beans, soybeans, lima beans, and cotton. Don't ask me about the cotton part because I'm confused on that myself. But apparently this stuff was made in Arizona. It was manufactured in Arizona I looked it up. Manufactured originally in Arizona in 1952. Then I decided to look up the history on it, and it was an accident. This stuff was an accident. Take Velcro. Well, not Velcro. The LED, made by a Russian in 1914? I looked it up. It was like 1914 or 1913, one of those two. But it was made by a Russian, by accident. What else was made by accident? All the best stuff you can think of was made by accident. Earth metal. Granted, it's for tillage tools and high tillage situations. Earth metal was made by an accident. But guess what? It was made by a Canadian in 1980 by accident. Super glue accident. What else? God, I'm trying to think. But this stuff was made by accident, and, well, guess what? It's still being used today to clean out beans, cotton, and everything else. Wow, is it raining? So, yeah. Simple accident, but yet a great benefit. Granted, the guy who made it, I think he was like 52 when he made it. So he's in the grave. Hate to say it like that, but we're all gonna pass one of these days. When, I don't know. So, I mean, you never know. That's why I live day to day. Not, oh, I gotta have 10-year plan. I have a 10-year idea, but not a plan. Because I don't know if I'm gonna make it home today. Will I? I don't know. Or will it be tomorrow? You never know. So, I have a 10-year idea where I want to be in 10 years. That's the idea. But I go day to day. I have an idea for 10 years ahead of me, but yet I go day to day. And people ask me, how do you do that? You keep calm. Go day to day. Kung Fu Panda, the tortoise master. The quote I'm about to say, but the past is there to be remembered. The future has yet to come, but yet today is the present. Truer words once spoken. Welcome to farming.